Welcome back to the Sick and Successful podcast. This is your host, Natalie Supez. And if you're listening to this on the day it launches, we are a few days away from the new year. It is the last episode of 2022. And for this episode, I wanted to talk to you about manifesting the year that you want in your life and in your business, and how I have gone from a corporate job, just making ends meet, paycheck to paycheck, to living in my own home with my family, having my own job, being able to support my family, being able to do whatever we want, having a trailer, and doing all the things that we've always dreamt of. So I'm going to show you in this episode how you can manifest the life that you want. Before I jump into all of that, I just wanted to say I love doing this podcast and I love speaking to you all. I love knowing that there's a community of others out there that are sick and successful and that really resonate with this mission that I have. And my goal for 2023 is to really dive deep into the sick and successful mission, into this community, and really speaking to people all over the world that have chronic illnesses, that run businesses, or that are even C-suite or leadership in corporations, because I feel like it is so hidden and so quiet that there's so many people that can really use this space and this group, this corner of the, I guess, internet and podcast world that we've created together. So that is my goal for 2023. Something that I really struggle with, though, is setting up all this tech to get this YouTube video and podcast out. I typically batch create, so I create a few episodes in a day so that I don't have to do this every single week, because that becomes crazy with a busy schedule. But setting up the camera, making sure it's not blurry. If you've seen a few episodes back, we had a blurry episode, and I put it out because I don't want to portray perfection. Like, that is not what I'm about. I really want to make sure that you can show up and be yourself, even if you make mistakes, even if it's messy. If you keep doing it, if you keep staying persistent, you will be successful. And so that's why I put out the episodes. I think there's been 2 or 3 now that have been blurry because there was some kind of weird setting on my camera. Finally, I was able to take it into a camera shop, and hopefully, fingers crossed, from now on we'll have crisp, beautiful episodes. I'm filming on an EOS something Canon camera, so it shouldn't be as blurry as it has been. And, setting up the microphone, setting up the tripod, making sure the lighting, and just like all of these things that you probably don't even think about when you watch YouTube, because I know I don't. I'm an avid YouTube watcher, and I don't think about all of the prep that it goes into making this content. And then once it's filmed, taking the cards out, uploading it onto the computers, putting it in the drive, sending it out to different editors, reviewing it, creating clips. Like, Lord almighty, is it a lot of work to create content, which obviously I know because I own a digital marketing company, but it's something else when you're doing it on a weekly basis and you're trying to stay consistent for a full year. So yeah, that's been something, a little bit of my struggle, that I'm hoping to manifest some ease into that and maybe find a way that works for me to keep my setup going. It's why you've seen different locations throughout the last few episodes. I'm really trying to figure out what is the best place for me to set up. I do typically like the other side of my desk with the clocks. You can kind of even see it in this new poster that's behind me with the SNS Creative logo. For those of you on the podcast, I'm sitting at my regular spot in my desk behind my computer, and I have a framed poster that I made myself on Canva with the ocean and then our logo on top of it. It's behind me, and you can see in that poster the reflection of my clocks, which are on the other side of me. I typically like sitting on that side. I feel like it's really aesthetic. There's plants, etc. But it is, at the moment I'm filming this, a few weeks before Christmas, and it is overloaded with box from Amazon because I'm preparing Christmas shopping and have not had a minute to walk into a store. So most of my Christmas shopping has been on Amazon, just leaving all the boxes so that I can wrap. I love wrapping gifts in gift wrap. When you're listening to this, it's past the holidays, so I hope that you had a happy holidays. And this time between Christmas and New Year are such a weird time. I know in corporate it was the time where everyone was like pretending to work but really weren't. And now with my own business, I just take that time off and spend it with family. And if I'm doing business stuff, it's typically like creating or whatever. So I hope you're enjoying this weird kind of slow break before the new year starts and before we jump right back into everything. And now let's jump into the podcast episodes. Let's talk about manifesting. Before I tell you how I manifested where I am now, and before I talk about how you can manifest, I really want to tell you what that word means to me and how I kind of see it working. Years and years ago when I was younger, I heard about the book The Secret, and I've always been, my family was Catholic. I went to catechism, I went to, is that what it's called? I went to Sunday school. Oh my gosh, it is blanking my brain right now. But I went every Sunday to the church and learned and then did all the things with the Catholic Church. And I also went to Bible camp at a Christian church, became Christian quite young, even though no one in my family was, and had this spiritual journey of my own with God. Then in and around when I started becoming more of an entrepreneur and really pursuing, when I got my business number for the Health many, many years back, I feel like my spiritual journey increased. There's always been waves of ups and downs, but I really was able to see the workings of the universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, when I became a business owner, because I could put out thoughts and okay, I really need this to happen, and it would. And it was so interesting to me. I used to use the Passion Planner very religiously. I have 4 or 5 of them completely filled out, and I keep them all. I'm looking up my closet because that's where I store them, but I keep them all. And at the beginning of the Passion Planner, there is this exercise that it makes you do. And it essentially makes you wish for the next 3, or not wish, but tell all of the accomplishments that you want to do, all the goals that you want to achieve within the next 3 months, within the year, within the next 3 years. And I don't exactly remember the years. I think that's it though. And I do it, and I always just let myself write whatever I think is going to come up. And in 2018, for 2020, so 2 years away, I wrote, I'm going to have a kid, I'm going to have my own business, I'm going to be done with corporate, etc. And all of it came true. Anytime I look at those passion planners and the exercises that I filled out, almost everything has come true, which is unreal for me. But it all started with my journey of entrepreneurship, because I really understood that is when you got to sit down and write your 3-month picture and your 3-year goal and your 5-year plan and your 10-year dream, all of those things as a business owner, right? We all learned that at some point of another, that your business needs to have projections. And I started seeing them all coming true. And I was like, this manifesting thing is real. And then I became a breathwork practitioner. I went to San Diego and got certified, and really realized that when you tap into your inner being and you are desiring something, not from a place of ego, not from a place of materialistic even, sometimes, but from this place of, I really want my life to be like this, and you know it. It's insane how quickly that can happen. So one of the first things that I did as an entrepreneur is I made a dream board, and I literally went on Pinterest and I printed out pictures of things I wanted. I remember there being the word remission and author and full-time business owner, and I believe I had 10K months or $100,000 year or something on there. I had myself doing a pull-up. I had some other things on that board, and everything that was meant to come true for me, which would be probably about 90% of the things on the dream board, did. The things that didn't come true, for example, me doing a pull-up and some of the, I think I had that I wanted a chicken coop or something like that for my family and for them to move out to their cabin. That's not in due time, right? Things that hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to. The pull-up, I'm not sure. I'm in a different journey with my fitness right now. But all in all, it really is such a beautiful thing to do, because you get to sit down and dream. And there is so much proof. I don't know if there's scientific studies, but I've read endless amounts of books. I am really a reader. By reader, I mean audiobook listener, but I love to learn. And the power of visualization is just, there's no words for the power of visualization. So when you're putting it out there and actually visualizing what your dream life can look like, it is going to happen. And so that's how I urge you to manifest 2023. I want you to, depending on the way that you visualize, right? My brain works in pictures. And so when I drive by a house that I would like to live at, I imagine it. I imagine the inside of it. I imagine what it would be like to have my kids there. I imagine what it would be like to have a family there, to have barbecues, whatever it is. And I really like to go and when I'm on my walks, look at the different houses and pick one and dream about it. And I like to look at different cars and dream about them. And I like to look at offices and put myself in there. I even really like doing meditations where I visualize myself as my future self, because I'm sure you've heard of athletes doing the same thing, right? Before their games, before a boxing match or before a basketball game, whatever type of game, the best athletes visualize themselves there over and over and over, because when they get there, they've already been there. So it's not overwhelming. The atmosphere, the anxiety, etc. doesn't affect their body in the way that it would if you didn't ever even think about what that feeling is going to be like. Your brain doesn't know the difference between thoughts, visualizations, and reality. So when you're sitting there dreaming about the business that you want to have, dreaming about your health, dreaming about the best version of your life, your brain thinks that's reality. So if you show up as that version of you every single day, your life will start to mold into that version. This is where wearing the clothes of the position you want to be in really can help you take that next level in your business or in your company. When I started my business, really was all about white blazers. I still love them. I'm into a little bit different colors now, but I would wear my white blazer and my white pants, and I would get on Zoom calls and do my makeup and do my hair instead of just showing up in my pajamas behind my computer creating this business, because I sat into the version that I wanted to be, and I got there extremely quickly by all of these different steps, right? If you tomorrow start dressing as a CEO, it doesn't mean you're going to become a CEO tomorrow. If you tomorrow start visualizing a multi-million-dollar home, doesn't mean tomorrow you're going to get it. If you start hoping for remission, it doesn't mean you're going to get into remission, but it's the avalanche of steps that happens after, right? If you dream of a day where you are healthy enough to go for a 1 kilometer walk. I don't know what it is, right? If you dream of that day, then that means you're going to start going on bigger and bigger walks every single day, which is going to lead up to being able to do that 1 kilometer or 5 kilometer walk. It's like that in business. It's like that in life. It starts from dreaming. It starts from goal setting. It starts from doing the work and then actually executing, right? Because if you're visualizing this beautiful life, if you have these amazing goals, if you've written down exactly what you want your life to look like, if you have printed out pictures from Pinterest and the internet and set them up on a beautiful corkboard and pinned everything up and look at it every single day, and you stay in your bed and you eat junk food and you watch TV all day every day, I can guarantee you none of that is going to happen. You hear me? So you can visualize, you can manifest, you can dream, you can, drive by the beautiful houses, you can wear the beautiful clothes, and then lay in your bed and watch TV doing nothing. Nothing's going to happen. So it is 2 and 2. It is executing. It is doing the things you know right now in this moment that you can, that's going to take you to the next step. And then visualizing, dreaming, setting goals for the future so that you know the path that you're going to go on. So that you have an idea in front of you on, okay, here's where we're going. Something very important in business as a leader is to make sure that all of the employees in your company, every single person, the contractor, the employees, everyone knows the path that they're going on with the company, right? That they have an understanding in 3 years we're going to be here, in 10 years we're going to be here, and here's where we're going. Because if they don't have that vision, then they might think, oh man, this company's going to shut down. We're not doing really good now. Or maybe who knows what we're going to be, where we're going to be in a year. So I got to start looking for another job, etc. So it is so important that everyone's bought in to the vision of the company. And it is so important that you are bought in to the vision of your life. And then you execute on those things, that you execute on the day-to-day tasks, that you put in your effort, that you put in everything you have. And on top of that, that you try to stay positive. And I know it's hard. I know the life we live right now and the world we live in right now, it's hard to continuously stay positive. Trust me, I understand. I have struggles with that on a day-to-day basis. But if you can take a moment every single day and think about what you're grateful for, if you can take a moment when you're angry and when you're in a heightened emotional state and actually regulate those emotions and try to look for the positive, our world is flooded with negativity. So if you can pick out the small positives in your day, watch your life transform. Watch your life transform. We are heading into 2023 and you have the world at your fingers. You can have the life that you want to have, no matter if you are 20, if you are 40, or if you're 83. There are so many people that, become extremely successful in their later years in life. And there are so many people in their early years that aren't doing anything. So it really is up to you. It doesn't matter where you're at, doesn't matter what your health condition is. It doesn't matter what your age is at. It doesn't matter, because you can find a way to think outside of the box to have a life that you dream of. I understand that some of us I understand that there are times where a chronic illness may leave you in a hospital bed for weeks, months, years on end. I understand that there are people with chronic illness who are bedridden. I understand that there are elderly people who, maybe are not able to execute on the life that they've always dreamt of. But that doesn't mean that you can't create a life within your capabilities, within the situation that you are in, that makes you happy. What I'm saying is we always have the opportunity to improve our lives, whatever that is, and to look at it with a positive perspective. And it is in your hands to make that change. It's not your husband, it is not your wife, it is not your partner, it is not your friend, it is not your parents, it is not your family's fault. Whoever that you're blaming for things going wrong after the holidays, the fights, the chaos, whatever, now we're settling in, and it is your responsibility to make 2023 the best year that you have ever had. I want to know if you're going to dream board, if you're going to do some vision work, if you're going to set some goals. Please let me know. I would love to hear from you. You can email me info@snscreative.ca, or you can just DM me on Instagram @sickandsuccessful_. I've started using that Instagram page again just because like I said, I want this mission of this community to grow in 2023. So super easy to find me there. And have a very, very happy new year. Enjoy your holidays, the rest that you have, and I'll talk to you in 2023. Remember, dream big, it's possible for you, and the next version of success is around the corner. Mwah!